Pray tell, what is with these people and skulls? Thank you. Thank you very much. This is quite possibly Netflix's best series of Marvel Comics since Daredevil Season 1. Credits.
Dutchman versus the Punisher.
Okay, fine. Marvel Netflix The Punisher is legit, honestly, in my opinion, the best series that Netflix has put out about Marvel Comics superheroes ever since Daredevil Season 1. Marvel's as Netflix's The Punisher is the 7th series in the Marvel Comics adaptation that Netflix has done. It's also the 3rd one I'm doing on my little YouTube show, so if you have not seen my lamentations of Iron Fist and my opinions about the Defenders, this is basically the rundown for me. Daredevil Season 1 is good. Daredevil Season 2, quite like the Punisher bits better than the Ninja bits. Luke Cage, I liked it better before they switched villains. Jessica Jones, it was good, but I feel like the format hurts in the story because I feel like they stretched it out a little bit too thin. And I really didn't like Iron Fist. And the Defenders is okay. It could have been a lot better, but it's okay. Then we have the Punisher. And the Punisher is fresh off of Daredevil Season 2, and by God, it is literally, in my opinion, the best Netflix series that it has done for the Marvel Comics. For those not in the know, John Bernthal plays Frank Castle as the Punisher, who was the target of a hit executed by the mob. Except secretly it was done by the military, who was performing shady circumstances behind the scenes and all that, which led to Frank Castle surviving the hit, but not his family. This is straight off of Daredevil Season 2, and Frank Castle has been laying low for quite some time, and this series is, again, another slow burner. All of the Marvel Netflix series have this issue, in my opinion, and it can be good because we spend a lot of time with the characters, but in cases like I said before previously, Jessica Jones, it works against the format. Jessica Jones had a very finite story, except because of the 13 episode mandate, let's call it a mandate, they were forced to capture the villain, have him escape, capture the villain, have him escape, capture the villain, etc. There is no such thing here, fortunately. Unlike other series like Luke Cage, there is no real need for a villain switch in the middle. There's also, unlike Iron Fist, no need for him to be distracted for about 5 episodes for random ninja thuggery, and thankfully we've already had Defenders, so there's no build-up towards a secret crossover series that we all knew was coming anyway. So Marvel Netflix's The Punisher, and I really have to start saying that just in order to amuse myself, and I hope you're slightly amused because otherwise why are you looking at my fat ugly face for? It's having Frank Castle be on his own, and he's trying to find a new life, except of course he can't, because the Punisher's raison d'etre, which is French, and seeing as Frank Castle is American or Italian, if you look at his grandparents, he doesn't know French, so he's stuck with the fact that he can't be anything else but the Punisher. So he tries a job in construction, and we see him not fitting into society, even at levels that he doesn't, he's a little bit above. And something goes wrong, and from that point onwards, Frank gets dragged back into his old life, and because of this, old faces start appearing, old ghosts from the past. They start realizing, hey, hang on, Frank Castle is still alive. First we have Microchip, and if you don't know Microchip, he's basically, like the Spider-Man Homecoming, the guy in the chair cliche. He is the guy in the chair for the Punisher. He was in the 90s animated Spider-Man series. He was in Punisher Warzone, played by Wayne Knight, who I quite like. And in this instance, he's played by some bloke with a beard and curly hair. I'm really horrible with names. Like, yeah, really horrible with names. See, the issue of this series is that Microchip was Microchip. He calls himself Microchip. He wants to be called, but it doesn't really catch on. Regardless, David Lieberman, Chip, he knew more than he should do, and this led to the secret behind Frank Castle's original mission. And Frank Castle thought he was just a Marine. Turns out that Colonel Lex Luthor from Daredevil Season 2 wasn't just the only big bad guy in this case. Because of Chip's, or David's, digging up the past, Frank gets dragged back in. And it's a real slow build, and it's a good slow build. We're trying to figure out what's going on in Frank Castle's history, and in the meantime he's dealing with his own post-traumatic stress disorder in a good way. And I know it sounds like a cliche, but I find that not a lot of series actually deal with PTSD properly, and here we have at least 2 to 3 characters, main characters, suffering from it, and they're all dealing with them in their own ways. And this is great because it gives us different takes and different people handling their own ghosts. I can't really say there's like a plot. It's mostly like 3 C plots, of which one is of lesser importance, and they interweave onto a culmination of sorts. Whereas something like Daredevil or Jessica Jones had one big bad guy driving all the plot forwards, here it's more like something happens simultaneously, A plus B equals outcome C. And it's not really that bad. It's just that with characters like the support group I was talking about earlier, they are relevant and they have plot important episodes. It's just that it's not, it happens to Frank Castle, it's not something he's directly involved in until the final 3rd act of that plot. At the moment, I've just finished watching it. I've binged the series in like 2 days, so it's not a detriment to me right now, but stuff in hindsight might always bother you. So I'm pointing this out, it might bother you, but at the moment I'm still like on the fence about it. So there's like 2 real big bad guys. One is a CIA agent from one of the Punisher Max series, and the other one is called Billy Russo. And if you know the comics, Billy Russo is, well, a pseudonym for Jigsaw, and Jigsaw in most incarnations is a big buff mob boss, or at least he becomes a mob boss once he becomes Jigsaw. And he is no relation to the Saw series at all. Here, Billy Russo is a Marine that Frank Castle used to know. So I'm perfectly fine with changing people's backstories in order to fit better into a new narrative or a canon. But in this case, I felt like they're building up Billy Russo to be like the opposite of the Punisher, or at least like, you know how Batman has Catman, like a mirror opposite like that, or how Wonder Man has Atlas, or how Superman has Bizarro, you know, like direct opposites but share similar sets of skills, abilities and powers, that kind of idea. So in this case, it's like Billy Russo is supposed to be a Marine like Frank Castle, and he is a skinny little git. I don't know the actor, I'm horrible with names, and I've googled this before but I've forgotten already. And he sounds a little bit taller than John Bernthal, but he's like that. I've had a hard time believing he was a Marine. He does some cool tricks at a few points, and he's got like a knife trick, and at no point until the final scene where he has like an amount of time to prepare for Frank Castle's arrival, at no point did I feel he was the big threatening action behind it. It's the biggest turmoil is the history of Frank Castle and how it involves David Lieberman microchip, and this is resolved with actual tension. And there's like, there's lots of things in this series I wanted to tell you, but like, I'm not gonna do this. I've probably already said too much about the plot because, you know, big name villains always last until the end unless they're, you know, the one guy from Luke Cage I'm not gonna mention. So, yes, please go watch The Punisher. It's probably the best Punisher Netflix series there is. It's probably not the best Punisher there is, because how is anybody supposed to match Ray Stevenson? Because that's Thomas Jane, but that's Ray Stevenson, and he wasn't fucking Punisher also. And that's the best Punisher movie there is. Also features Jigsaw. So, fine. Irregardless, fine. Subscribe to my channel because I need more subscribers, because I am the best, most eloquently voiced, rational opinion on the internet about pop culture, obviously. I have a bunch of social medias. It's Facebook, Twitter, Tumblr, and they're all Dutchtica. Dutchtica. If you like what I say, give me a thumbs up. If you hate my fucking face, and I do too, give me a thumbs down. There's a pseudo podcast thingy I do on this channel as well. It's called TLDR, Two Losers Drunken Ramblings, and I do it with my best buddy Stuart, but we mostly do it about random subjects, sometimes movies, and I even think there might be a movie coming soon. So, thank you very much, and please remember, we're taking the skulls back. These people cannot take our skulls. They can take skulls, okay, they can take our skulls, but we are taking the skulls back. It's like these people with their skulls, they can't just have the skulls. I like my skull. It's like I've had this skull for at least, you know,
Continue.
since I was in my early 20s, and it's a skull, and it's my skull. It's like, what's with these people and skulls? I'm like, I don't want to be one of those people. I am a people. I'm a person, me. This is my... His name is Scullo. It used to be Rochester.